guys do like one now.
Son of a bitch.
He's the assistant chief here. She told me to stop. To be a farmland. Oh, pretty. So, yeah.
Can I get your name and badge, sir? Can I get your name and badge?
Okay, Taya?
Uh-huh.
300.
Okay. They're obligated to say that. It's their name and badge.
Except when she asked for it.
Except when a lot of people ask for it. So we got to reiterate.
I'd recognize. No, absolutely not. He's taller.
So we're at National City Council meeting, Cop Watch, Jack Beers. So we're at National City Council. This is in regards to the other events.
Oh, yeah.
One cop showed up, so I got his name and badge. I'm going to see if I can stream from the other channel.
Guys, while we're standing here, let's...
Hey, yeah.
Smirking one should go with that. Mika? Give it to Mika.
I thought you wanted this one, Leslie. Oh, you got a bigger one.
Yes, this is like totally my style.
Hey y'all. So this is going to be a press conference in connection to Tasha Williamson's arrest, practicing her amendment right to speak. She went over a 2-minute time limit. Normally people do not even get in trouble for a 2-minute time limit, but Tasha Williamson here. She was, after the mayor called for a recess, Tasha Williamson continued to talk. The demand is releasing the videos. Look at the smirk on this fucker's face, man. This dude needs to be fired. His behavior was unacceptable to the families. It was unacceptable at City Council. Tasha Williams got arrested over nothing, especially after the mayor called for a recess. She stated the court ruling regarding addressing corruption in City Council associated meetings for the public. So this is a press conference, and we're on the ground with Cop Watch. How are you feeling today? How's your arm?
My shoulder is just hurting. If I raise it too high, it hurts. But other than that, you know, I'm doing okay.
Cool. Okay. Well, we got your back. If folks, try to get some other cop watchers on the ground. I know we got Kate. Art's going to be filming. If people can put the feelers out in the universe, obviously this is not the first, and what's the word I want to look for? There's more to come. There's more to come. So, is that Earl McNeil had a medical emergency. He walked into National City PD. He never walked out. There's about, I want to say 3 different press releases police released. They did not release any video footage. They did not release anything as far as how he was treated. This guy right here, as you can see, he's a smirker. So his sociopathy was shown as transparent as day. He needs to stop smirking. It's Mika, Generation Justice. I see Dwayne Harvey, Justice for SD33, Cast, the most amazing ally. And Art Fusco, also known as Jack Beers, historian, filmmaker extraordinaire. This is some pretty awesome posters. He knows what is on them. Yes!
Yes, ma'am. Captain Smirks a lot.
Captain Smirks a lot, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So, press, media showed up.
That's good. Especially your back, because when we were in the meeting with the family, that's exactly what he said.
If you can signal boost this, Jeff Olson. Also, whenever they do other events, if you can come with. So we're going to need you on the ground. But if you can signal boost this for now. So also part of media transparency, I'm going to be filming the interview as well, because we never know what they're going to publish and if they publish at all. NBC7 is here.
I don't know. Is he? Okay.
Can you get him over?
So you want to...
Would it be okay if I hold you? I'm just about to the event. We'll get it done before you guys, and I'll get video of everything.
Okay.
You're going to be out here before the council meeting?
Yes.
Are you guys expected to speak from there as well?
Yes,
or?
we're all
okay. Okay.
Every last one of us is like, I think, about 60.
Wow. Did they do that before? Or did they do that after? Okay.
If they let us in,
Then I
we
get
don't know if they're going to let us in, so you would be able to see.
I would imagine they would. I just don't. Yeah. Maybe depending on how many they can fit. Yeah, you know what? I'm parked by the park over there. I have a no, just National City vehicles. Yeah, like maintenance.
Because last time they had like 15 cars in the
I
back.
haven't even seen a cop at all. So yeah, I think I just parked there because I have a dish and I can't go under this little bridge, so I had to park behind. I'm going to give you a microphone real quick if you can. And we'll get the interview.
Let's see if I can get the... So we're rolling. Independent media is recording mainstream media.
Okay. Okay. No. That's okay. Okay. No, that's fine.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you for asking.
Sure.
Yes, thank you.
That way you won't have to. Thank you. Oh, wait a minute. Just 1 second, I'm going to set everything up real quick on the side.
The cousin is supposed to be here as well.
At the okay, sure. Down here, right here, and all you have to do is this way. You want to work with it. Totally on board. Say and spell your first and your last name for me, and maybe how you're related to the family.
My name is Tasha Williamson, TASHA
And Tasha, are you a family friend or family?
I'm related to the family through Facebook. We found out about Earl through Facebook, and that's how me and the family connected because they needed help getting the message out to the world about what happened to Earl McNeil, trying to figure out what happened to him and get information that they weren't able to get on their own. So I started supporting them.
Talk about the story you heard about what happened to Mr. McNeil.
From the family, when we first met, they told us that they had received a phone call from this local police station, National City Police Station, from a detective. Who told them that their cousin and nephew was in the UCSD ward of the hospital, and they initially had said something to the fact that he had a heart attack. Didn't really say anything more. The family went to go see him, and then I think that following Tuesday, they came to the police station to ask questions, get a report, find out what happened, why when they saw him he had bruising on his face and the side of his face, why his hand was swollen with bruising marks and cuts around his wrist, and to the point where the tape that you see in the pictures, the hospital put that over to cover the cuts that were on his wrist.
Interesting. So they thought something fishy or something else might have happened other than just having a medical episode.
Well, what they were told was that he had brain nerve trauma, and that he was not going to recover. And so they had days to make decisions on when they would take him off by all life measures, and then they decided to do so on June 7th. He laid in the hospital for 5 days, heavily sedated, and passed away June 11th.
Did he have a medical history of breakdowns or heart trouble?
He didn't. not that we know of heart trouble. We do know that he had a medical mental illness history, and that he would regularly check himself in when he felt like there was a trigger happening, and that's what we believe he was doing as well here, and that the law enforcement, National City PD, knew that there was a mental illness that was going on, because they said it in their own press release that he was paranoid and he made irrational statements. That is not something that someone who is mentally well does. So we just want to know what happened. Why Kurt was not called? Why was he put in a RAP? Why was he taken to jail and not to a mental health hospital? What measures were taken or not taken? How did he get the bruising on his face? How are they now reporting to other local media affiliates that preliminary reports from their investigators who watched the autopsy was that there was absolutely no trauma to his body? How does somebody who comes to the National City PD leave from booking into an ambulance and then dies? There has to be some trauma. I don't know, I'm not a medical doctor, but brain nerve trauma is a trauma, and so for them to say there's absolutely no trauma to his body, I just don't believe that NCPD should be cleared of anything at this point. I believe that the federal government, the FBI, or the U.S. Department of Justice should step in immediately and take over this investigation.
And what do you talk about the gathering today? What is this all for? Obviously,
I was arrested on June 19th after I went over my 2-minute time limit. I was treated unfairly. I was made to take off my shoes. I was made to walk around barefoot in the hospital. The way they treated me, they laughed at me because they thought my injuries were not true. Then we later find out my hand is swollen from the tightening of the handcuffs while we were in jail. My shoulder was hurt because of how they were handling me. All these things happened, and they laughed. They thought it was funny. They beat a man as we were coming downstairs. This gentleman right here, Rafael Batista, they beat him as he was sitting on the steps, kicked him in his back, hit him in the back of his neck and his head. And that's why I was screaming on the tapes when you heard the tapes that you saw, because they were beating a man. And if that is indicative of what they do, I don't believe that they didn't have anything to do with Earl McNeil's death.
what do you hope to do inside City Council today when you speak? Oh, I apologize. I know that was yelling. What do you plan to do when you go inside City Council and speak?
We demand justice. We want them to release the video. We want the medical examiner has now been put on hold because of the leak, from my understanding. The family was waiting for it, and the NCPD asked for more blood work. So now the medical examiner's report is pending. So NCPD has done some egregious things. I do not feel like they are professionals who should be handling a case in which they may have done something. They are compromising the case, and I believe that the FBI and the U.S. Department of Justice should step in, because we believe that they were not only civil rights violations, there were human rights violations, because they've done it with us. Kicking him from the back. He was not aggressive. He was sitting down. I was not aggressive. I was talking. My voice is not violence. And I was treated like a criminal, chained to the bed of the hospital. She did not want to take the cuffs off me to put me on the gurney. So the way in which they treat people, I just believe that they should fire, or he should resign, Chief Rodriguez. And I believe that the FBI and the U.S. Department of Justice needs to do another probe on the National City Police Department and what happened to Earl McNeil, along with the Sheriff's Department, who also had contact with him during booking.
Thank you very much, Tasha, for taking the time. Is there anything else I forgot to ask you that you would like to add?
I mean, the difficult part of this is that Earl McNeil's family is still grieving, but they have now financial responsibility. When I went to the hospital, I did not injure myself. I have financial responsibility going to the hospital. My blood pressure was 160 over 106. They did this to us. I should not have to pay for the damages of someone else doing something to me. They should not have to pay for that. National sheriff's department, whoever did it, they should be responsible financially and criminally.
Thank you very much for taking the time.
Thank you.
And I'll grab your microphone if you want. Pardon me, one second. Thank you. So sorry. Thank you. Thank you so much. Good to meet you. Sure, I'll be getting the video.
Okay.
Yeah, you're welcome.
And so I'm gonna keep my eyes out. This is Rafael Bautista, witness Tasha being dragged down the stairs.
Is that Raphael?
So police are starting to get in. I'm just going to get some names and badge numbers. Again, there's a... This is one entrance of National City Police Department. Can I get your name and badge, sir?
Sure. It's Alex Hernandez, 376.
Thank you. Can I have your name and badge, sir?
Sure. Hello, Antonio Ibarra, 381.
381.
Do you have
Yeah.
cups?
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
I thought you said cuffs. So whenever police get in, I'm just going to get their names and badge numbers for reference, whoever was in here. Hey, long time no see. How you doing?
Good. How are you? Have you been?
Sweaty, smelly, filming. Oh, you cut your hair. It looks good. It looks good.
Justice! When do we want it? Now! What is that other one? No killer police.
Hello, how are you?
No
Good
justice,
to
no
see you, sweetie.
police. Is that how it goes?
No racist police.
Well, killer police. They're killing people.
Well, they're racist too. That's why they're killing. Yeah.
Justice, no peace, no killer police. No justice, no peace, no racist police.
Are you from Union Tribune?
I'm not.
Okay, I'm sorry. My apologies.
Max, I'm with the appeal.
With the appeal. Thank you.
Justice, no peace, no racist police.
Oh, Christine, I love you. Please signal boost this. This is for Earl McNeil. One of the protesters, friend of the family's Tasha Williamson, spoke over her 2 minutes, and therefore she was arrested. Nobody ever gets arrested by going over minutes, but I guess if you're interrupting while black, it shows the amount of racism that National City PD has for our black community. So this is the mobilization to keep Earl McNeil's name alive. Yeah, he walked into National City Police Department and never walked out. That was Earl McNeil. And then when the family met with the police department, that fucker chief had a fucking smirk on his face. And the same smirk that he showed to the family, he showed to Tasha Williamson. Rafael Bautista. What up, sir? We have All of Us or None here. All of Us or None San Diego.
Yes. How you doing?
Just need a butt. But yay.
Wow.
This is Reverend Dennis Malone. I think there's a meeting coming up, right? All of Us or None community meeting.
All of Us or None. It's one of the issues we're going to be discussing. We definitely have it on our agenda. We have to organize ahead of it.
Yeah.
We're always reactive and not proactive.
Yeah.
And you know that.
Absolutely.
I know that. Different organizations out here. All of Us or None is going to be out here to support any organization that deals with oppression, discrimination, and especially now, they're dealing with our children. Our children are being abused by our government.
Yeah.
And that's off the subject, but still it's all related.
Yeah.
All of us in San Diego, we meet in Malcolm X Library at 2 p.m.
Sunday?
Every second Sunday of the month.
Every second Sunday. So this Sunday coming up, I hope to see you there, sir. But you know,
us on Facebook.
Yep.
Also.
And you know what? I'm going to be out filming. That would be the only reason why I wouldn't attend. You know, I got my boots on the ground, so.
I know you do. Your
But,
action is hard. Cop watch.
Cop watch, that's right. Preventing what they do,
Yeah.
attempting to prevent what they do, versus reacting to what cops do. Because we want to see people live another day, right?
You know what was so shocking to me? Is that when issues happen, we're taking our issues to those who are actually perpetrating the problem.
Yeah, so taking the issues to the people, and the people right now is law enforcement.
Right.
So
exactly.
finding means to organize around law enforcement. It's good security culture all along. Yeah.
And the city council and our elected officials are not going to do the job. They got to go.
Yeah.
They got to go.
Yeah.
Tasha was abused.
Yeah.
Raphael
and you know,
was abused.
yeah, and you know what? The mayor announced that he was taking recess, and they still went ahead. I've never seen somebody arrest like that.
I never seen
so
that
when
before. That's why I'm here today. Not just for that, but that really pushed me to get involved with this.
Yeah.
Because I know how to get inside this courtroom and these chambers.
Yeah.
And they put on this frock.
Yeah.
For the public.
Yeah.
In reality, they don't care nothing at all about the citizens that they're constituents.
Their decisions are affecting, or lack of decisions. Yeah. It's a rubber stamp.
It's a shame how we keep tolerating. We tolerate too much.
We do.
We are too tolerant.
We do. We need to. It definitely organizing out of the. Well, there is the voting thing, but we also. Huh?
Revolt.
Oh, revolt.
Revolution.
Now you're talking about revolution, Rev. Oh.
Passive aggressive.
Preach gospel to me.
I'm talking about coming straight.
Yeah.
You know, we're not getting anywhere by doing these protests and these marches. It's not getting us nowhere. We got to organize and shut down businesses.
Yeah.
Hit them in the pocket where it hurts.
Divest from law enforcement.
And if someone is not representing you that you voted for, or they even didn't vote for, but they're in a position to make a difference and they're not making a difference, they must go.
Yeah.
We cannot continue letting the same board of supervisors sit on there for entirety, not doing nothing for our community. I live in Southeast San Diego. Southeast San Diego needs jobs. They need corporations to come in there. They don't need no more welfare buildings.
Yeah.
No more of this poverty-driven and poverty.
If people can share this stream, it's appreciated.
It's absolutely important for us to do more up front. And our national organization, Urban League, is not out here.
Yeah.
The NAACP is not out here.
Yep.
You know, and all the funds that come in San Diego for these types of events and rallies to help supporters, they gather up all the money. They get the money, and those even comes down to
Soros donors. Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
Change is not happening with the old pro quo.
Absolutely.
Change is happening at the grassroots level.
Yep.
Young folks are really taking the initiative. They don't even believe in
Thank you, Bernard.
nonprofits or the churches or these institutions that have a history of civil rights protests and so forth. They haven't done nothing since the 60s.
Yeah.
You hear me? They haven't done the same since the 60s. They're not at the border.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So, all of us are not, and this movement for change, and all our community members who really want to be about change,
Yeah.
invite us to be a part of what you're doing, and we'll do the same with you.
Absolutely.
We need each other. Our numbers are our strength.
Yeah. I agree.
And we
Absolutely.
can educate and teach each other and build and make change.
Absolutely.
As long as it won't happen.
Absolutely. And I also want to say all of us are none. We're the creators of Ban the Box, which is something for preventing people from facing employment discrimination. They are on the ground. They are currently formerly incarcerated individuals. I have much respect for the analysis all of us are none gives. They do work within the system. They give beautiful, healthy criticisms of what can be better and regarding to propositions, which I appreciate.
People can unite and make change.
Yeah.
We all can make change.
Yeah, for sure. And my boy Curtis Howard, all of us are none reppin'.
Yeah.
So, it's my homie. I told him he's honorary cop watcher. Yeah.
You know what that indictment, right? It's 23 count on indictment.
Oh yeah, he talks about that. Yeah.
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 It's definitely on our agenda.
Yeah.
No hanging fruit.
Yeah.
I want to wash them away for life.
Absolutely.
It's just changing, Kathy. I mean,
yeah.
Going backwards if anything.
Yeah.
I'm working with a lot of students now.
Yeah.
I feel good about working with the students because they seem to get it and they seem to want to, and they have the energy, I guess, and they're not afraid to get out here. You guys are really doing good things with that cop watch, though. I mean,
yeah, it's
really.
we're getting a lot of.
So you guys getting syndicated pretty soon, or what?
We're thinking of doing a podcast, but it is a lot of work.
It's a lot of work.
We're grateful for
Can we write some grants? You need some help writing grants?
We'll always need help, sir.
Yeah,
writing grants. Oh yeah.
You've been doing this pro bono.
Amen.
For so long.
Amen, Rev.
And we both share that.
Oh yeah.
Cop watch with this video editing and this tool.
Yeah.
It balances out.
Because you know what? We also have to revoke from the media. Mainstream media, yeah?
That's right.
It twists stories. We have to tell our own stories.
You are our voice.
Yeah.
If when people like you, mainstream media's not going to cover this. I mean, they're not.
Yeah. Or I've seen some come up, but who knows?
Agree
yeah.
That needs to be covered.
Absolutely.
And spotlighted.
Absolutely.
Our Trump was elected through media on Facebook and Twitter, and we have to use our social media as our area of mass communication, getting our word out. Mm-hmm. Corporate television media is not going to do it for us. See how you spending time with me right now?
Yeah.
That's a good thing. That's a good thing.
I need to follow all of us, and I'm so stretched, Rev, because I know we on the ground.
I understand. But
yeah.
You don't have to be at every meeting for me to know that you're a part of all of us now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's not necessary.
For reals. You know? Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
You don't have to be the organization that you're with.
Yeah.
To be a part of all of us in the movement.
Yeah.
We need you where you are.
I need people to share this stream.
And we'll keep you informed.
Yeah.
We'll keep you informed, keep us informed.
Absolutely.
And we'll support each other on every movement.
Absolutely.
That's how we make
Absolutely.
it. I need to take a picture of some signs. You get any pictures? Will you send it? So I'll go to your Facebook page and.
Mm-hmm. I'll take some. I can even send you some screenshots from this stream. So I got some good screenshots.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
Great. Get on Facebook and send it to our national headquarters. See if they can come down here. Some lawyers, some attorneys, and get us going in the right direction, write some grants for us. That's the main thing I want to do.
Yeah.
I want to write grants so you can be where you need to be,
Yeah.
Get everything.
Hang on one second. I see somebody I got to make famous. Hey, sir, did I get your name and badge?
How are you?
Did I get your name and badge?
Yeah, absolutely. How are you doing?
I'm not shaking your hand. No way, man.
Thomas Wilkins, 358.
358.
understand, what leads to fascist ideology and capitalist ideology always tends to lead to that, because there's no limits, no restrictions. It's always free play for the rich. So we really end up needing the opposite.
On a lower level, on a more personal level, for people, how do you get just someone sitting at home to identify with this movement, or to realize the issues or realize what's wrong? How do you guys do that?
I think
Thank you, Terrell. Be sure to share this stream. The more people know about it, the better.
Even when we're driving, we see a cop behind us, and we don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
We don't know that they're there looking out for us. We know that if they get pulled over, we get pulled over, they can put
Mike,
something on us, or they can
be sure to share the stream, Mike.
That
please share the stream.
Or, just to make up reasons to give you a ticket, or to make up reasons to put you in jail. And we've seen, the reports.
Absolutely.
SDSU reports.
Absolutely.
The racism going in the field is real, and that people in the community already know this. So when we have people in the community coming out saying, we're outraged about these actions, we don't need our council person to say, "Oh, community, you're not behaving properly," and apologize to the police. No, we need our council person to say, "Police, you need to correct your behaviors. You need to have
well, share the heck out of this stream, Mike. I need to get you out one of these days to do a community walk to Cop Watch.
The police for the community being outraged that they're being profiled. That's unacceptable.
What are you guys planning tonight? And I know some of Tasha's demands. What are with your group? What are you guys' demands? What's the plan tonight?
One of the main things that we think is being somewhat overlooked is our right to be able to document what's happening. As we were discussing earlier, some of our members were filming and trying to document the instance, but when they took Tasha down into the stairwell, they blocked the cop watchers from being able to continue doing what they're doing. I think that needs to have some repercussion, because you can't just push that type of situation where you can just block somebody's access to recording what's happening. I think the videos from the cameras can't come out in an subjective way. They have to come out as soon as there's availability to it. So we want to see transparency. We want to see the videos. We want to see what happened to Earl. We want to make sure that officers can't just act with impunity in terms of blocking some people from recording, or as Tasha and me, just abusing us. And
the cops took an oath to defend the Constitution. So the Constitution gives us a right to film public servants. So.
Sure. Yeah, exactly. We really think there needs to be repercussions against the officers that are involved. We don't think pay leave is good enough. They need to be prosecuted.
Do we know if videos exist?
Yeah, it turns out that there's cameras around. So there's video cameras of Earl, I guess, going to that station, and I'm thinking that there's officers that have the body-worn cameras that should have been on.
Alright, just keep sharing it, Mike. Keep sharing it. You're big on Facebook. We need
What is Rafael?
Revolutionary.
That's the official?
Yeah. Honorary member of UAPT Cop Watch. So.
You think I could get your number?
Yeah.
Also works on tenants' rights.
709-0942.
Well, my name's Alex Regan. I'm brand new. Second day with the NCPD.
Where are you from?
I'm with the Union Tribune.
Union Tribune. Thank you very much for interviewing me.
Yeah, of course. So, yeah, I mean, would love to, reach out on other issues and stuff.
Yeah. He does amazing work regarding tenants' rights.
Yeah.
He saved people from being evicted, and he's pushing. He has close to 12,000 signatures for rent control, maybe more. So there are a lot of people pushing. He's been pushing this for years, and City Council needs to. But he's done amazing work. We're glad that he's okay. All of this was totally by surprise. So I don't mean to be jumping into your interview, man. I can't say enough about this. This is my brother, man. This is my brother in struggle, man.
Yeah, likewise. Yeah, we will be going into the city council meeting. We're going to bring up the same points.
Yeah, I'm going to come in and I'm not positive if I'll be doing a story, right now. But we're obviously just monitoring.
Okay, so Union Tribune, NBC.
Normally.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Excuse me, ladies. Excuse me, ladies. Excuse me, ladies. Excuse me. So, it looks like there's kids. How are you? Can I get your name and badge, sir?
You know I'm not a police officer, right?
Who are you? Oh, you're fire. I'm sorry, dude. Sorry. It's a habit. Sorry. Every time I see a badge, for now. Yeah, for now.
You get a pass for now.
Remember those good old days we used to have? Yes, I do. We're starting, I guess.
Them good old days.
Been long.
Some dude told me he was trying to shake my hand. I have to fill out a slip. I need a slip. Thank you, dear.
It should be somebody's napkins inside.
Did you blow up any of the pictures?
Okay, so city council meeting.
We're going to fill that out.
So you turn into that guy up there.
Yeah, man. Where you sitting?
Right next to you.
Alrighty. Sweet. Yeah, Marie Little, private investigator. Yes. I'm doing shout outs. Yeah, stay. Come on.
You have a tripod? You want to set up by me?
Actually, I don't have a tripod, but I think that'd be a good idea. But you know what? Can you put something down here so I can reserve the seat? Okay. This is the mayor who dismissed. All right, sorry, y'all. I gotta put y'all down. I gotta fill out a slip. All right, so we're back on. Jose Tellez, Assistant Police Chief, Director of Emergency Services Frank Para, Stephen, Director of Public Action Planning Director, I don't know what that is, Staff Table, Irene Mosley. Just going to go down the list here, Staff Table, Manager, Services Director. I know I'm trying to go live on YouTube. I'm having some difficulty. Shit, I'm not connected. Alright, I'm gonna connect to National City Wireless. Looks like obtaining IP. Looks like it's connected. Alright. Shoot. So it looks like I am connected, but for some reason it's not. But the battery's low too on this one. It's happened before where I've tried to connect on a open Wi-Fi and I'm getting alerts, but for some reason it's not popping up on YouTube. So I just want to keep this stream live. I don't know whose pen this is. It's not mine.
Oh, it's not yours. You didn't make it today or what?
Jose Tellez. What's up?
Chief didn't make it?
Doesn't look like it. His name's not there. So this is National City Council meeting. Yeah, I need a tripod, but Shirley Weber's here. Shirley Weber, I probably think her title is representative.
Outside of the lobby, you have a monitor with visual and audible opportunity. So once again, if you do not have a seat at the time, find yourself a spot out in the lobby. Thank you.
Okay, well, they made an announcement that you can't sit or stand, but I'm on the side where the media is. So, Shirley Weber's here. Got the writer to the side.
So England beat Colombia by 1. Pretty exciting. I mean, have to be, I think, four out of the 6 games winning the toss. And at that point, you know, it's whoever doesn't freeze or the goalie made the right choice.
To get you some important information. Okay.
And they play it as less than that. Yeah, they keep playing the whole thing out. And that's a long time to be in the ball. That's a lot of running for those guys. You can see when they get to penalty, they take time to go down. Now they got to make a shot.
Cardinals going good. Yeah.
Shit, so I'm trying to take off the other camera. My apologies, folks. I have another camera, which I'm attempting to stream on YouTube, but unfortunately, even though I'm connected to National City Open Wi-Fi, I can't connect.
Not you. Not you.
Yeah, so now is it long or is it just they come in a certain hour?
That's the way it flows. Visually, every year.
Looks like cops are looking my way.
It must just be enough time.
See if I can get a close-up of them. They're all the way in the back. Let's see. Where are they? Sorry, Cole. Actually, I can't see them. Should it happen now? Okay, folks. Again, this is for people chiming in. This is in regards to the death of Earl McNeil and the criminalization of Tasha Williamson. The brutalization, criminalization of Tasha Williamson speaking, practicing her amendment right to voice at City Council. She went over her lousy 2 minutes. The mayor, which actually he's not seated right now, but the mayor called for a recess. Sorry, folks, there was a blip.
So over there they have the equipment. They just take all our how do they get to the do they get it to a fire truck or is that more of a work? How do they get to the fire truck?
Those are 5 engines.
I guess there were police, so police are at the door.
That's the majority of
I guess this This is the mayor. This is the mayor that called for a recess. Okay.
Stop at anyone else because of the dog, so it gets a little bit chief is at the door. From the whole building.
Really? From the whole building? So what are they?
Where is like the line? For us.
Let's see. It should an update on December 19th.
Piece of shit. Are there any cops outside? So from what I understand, they're preventing people from coming in.
What about the floor downstairs? There is no downstairs to go to.
There's a stairwell.
There's a stairwell for exiting, yes.
Okay.
And so you're saying this lobby is at capacity?
Yes.
Okay.
What about so as people leave, people can come in.
I got your name and badge, correct? Hernandez. What's your badge? I can't see. 376. Okay.
I mean, I can bring them up. So there's like 4 people waiting. Oh, okay.
Just taking my press spot, sir. I think we're filled to the capacity. Fire is advising people to stay outside because we're Kate, where are you standing? Keep the seat. We need people filming. Ah, Ben Von Kassel. It's been a while since I've seen you. Always a friendly bunch. What's up, Jasmine? What's up? Just waiting for City Council to get started. I think we're filled to capacity. The fire, somebody from fire was telling folks they couldn't let people into the building because it was filled to capacity. Yep, looks like it, Jasmine. So finally the mayor sits the fuck down. I think we're waiting on his ass. Shit. It's 6:10, so... Mayor, fucking A. So this is the mayor who called the police because Tasha went over her 2 minutes.
All right, thank you everyone for your patience.
Fuck this guy.
And I'd like to welcome everyone to this public meeting and to public local government. And thank you for coming and taking part in local government. If you'd like to speak to any item on the agenda, please, these forms are right outside the door there on the table, and please fill it out. What item you'd like to speak to, and at that time we will call you forward and to speak at that time. Make sure you get that over to our city clerk. If you'd like to speak to any item that is not on the agenda, that is public oral communication. Those items, since they are not agendized, we cannot address tonight, but we can certainly hear your concerns. That is one of the very first things on the agenda, so if you do want to do that, make sure you get something filled out right away and get that over to the city clerk.
Pretty much, Jasmine.
With that, Mr. Bell, meeting order. If you have roll call, please.
Member Brown?
Present.
Member Rios?
Here.
Member Gotero Solis?
Present.
Vice President Mandeville?
Here.
Mayor Morrison?
Present. If we could please stand for the pledge of allegiance.
Sorry, folks. Gotta kneel. I am kneeling.
United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Weirdos. Me, I'm kneeling.
Father, we just want to thank you for this evening. We just ask you to please watch over all decisions, all the things that are said today, whatever we would do in pleasing in your sight. Amen. Amen.
Looks like fire and cops are at the door.
Okay. Would you please take the talking down? All right. Now then, before we start tonight's meeting, I got an announcement to read. Okay, so before we start today's meeting, I want to remind everyone about the city's practices and procedures for public comment at city council meetings. The city welcomes public participation at city council meetings. At every meeting, I make a point of thanking everyone present for participating in local government. Speakers may address the council during public oral communication and also in connection with a specific item of business on the agenda. However, the city must make sure that no one person or group of people disrupt the meeting in a way that prohibits other speakers from expressing their ideas or opinions. So to make sure that everyone here has the opportunity to address the council, I will alert an individual or individuals if I think their conduct becomes disruptive to the meeting. If the disruption continues, I will rule the individual out of order. If the disruption continues, at that point further, I will declare a 15-minute recess so that we can restore order. At that point, if the disruption continues, I will direct the individual or individuals to leave the room. If the individual refuses to leave the room, the police will escort the individual or individuals from the door. If we have to repeat this process of warning and recessing the meeting, all members of the public will be excused from the chamber and can only return once their agenda item is called for discussion. Once again, we have these practices and procedures to protect the rights of other speakers and all speakers who wish to address the council. Keep it in orderly fashion. Also, one other thing, I know a number of people have signs tonight, and we welcome you to have your signs, but you cannot hold them up so they block people behind you. So, listen up. Listen up. You still cannot hold them up so they block people behind you. You can either be against the back wall or the side wall. So please put the signs down so people, we can still see them when they're in front of you.
This is
and you're just
fascism.
blocking your view, not everybody else's. Yeah. Thank you. With that, we will get into our public comments. We have a large number of people tonight on public comments, and so I'm going to be holding everyone to a 2-minute time limit. And since we have a lot of agenda items, the people are here actually for the agenda items themselves. With that, I will be calling people up, and when I do, I'll call 3 people at a time so that you can already be ready and be kind of in line, so we don't waste a lot of time waiting for people to come up. And if you're outside and you hear your name, please come on in and be ready to speak. Huh? So first of all, we have Mark Kim, to be followed by Sunshine Horton, to be followed by Assembly Member Shirley Weber.
Sir, can we also get you your secretary to come down in front to give you a word?
Oh, okay. Swear?
Yeah, you can come around, please, real quick.
Okay.
Yeah, if possible.
They're the Army, or they?
Maybe on microphone, or you can't hear.
Yep.
So on behalf of the U.S. Army, the National City Recruiting Station, and also Colonel Baker, we just want to give you guys an award for all the support that you guys give us and everything like that. So whenever we need anything, you guys are here to help us, and we just want to give you a token of our gratitude. I'm sorry.
Well,
Also, this is our commander, Captain Bernal. He has something to.
These are the company coins we have. So I appreciate you guys' help with everything. And I wish you guys a great day.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Kiss
Thank y'all for your time.
Okay.
Kiss asses.
Okay.
Yes, right over here. Council.
Oh, no, you gotta be back there, sorry.
I wish they'd help us release the video.
That far.
And the body count.
It's military.
No, I think I'm good. Okay, no problem. 1, 2, 3. Really? Okay, 1, 2, 3.
So I guess I'm curious. It wasn't clear what the certificate was for. It just said for support, so I wasn't sure. And it wasn't on the microphone, so I didn't hear what it was for.
So,
work for public service.
yes, sir. So, our Colonel Barker in Las Vegas, he runs all recruiting operations for all of southwestern United States, all the way over to Guam and Korea and Hawaii. So he wanted to put out to all the companies in this area which civilians have been helping the most throughout the entire footprint. And your names were brought to the forward, not only from us, but also from our boss, who's seen how much you guys do for us and how hard you work for our community. So obviously help us here partnering to help the youth of our area. So we just want to recognize both of you for your hard work and say thank you on behalf of the U.S. government and the Army.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Have a good day.
If I may, I just want to thank all the men and women who serve our country day in, day out. You know, you guys are doing a great job, all of the men and women, and I couldn't say it better than our mayor has also served in the Army.
Thank you.
If I may, it's actually us that need to thank you for your service, and thank you for all that you guys do. You volunteer day in and day out, so thank you very much. We appreciate it.
Who killed Earl McNeil?
All right. Okay, next we have Sunshine Horton to be followed by Assemblymember Shirley Weber to be followed by Ashley Phillips.
Hi, I don't think a lot of people's gonna like me, but I don't care. I came to America in '57 when we used to have money in the bank in America. Now we have a deficit that is bigger than big, okay? And when I was here in those days, welfare, they changed the rules on welfare and immigration. Welfare, you couldn't have a guy, you would be paid all your bills, you give you money to eat. To me, that's great. But, you know, all the rights started. Then immigration is different because when we came here, we couldn't have nothing. If my mother didn't work, my uncle that signed had to pay for everything. And when I had an appendix attack in high school, they sent me home. So we had to go to Tijuana. So a lot of things have changed in America. And don't get me wrong, it's not that I don't want to help my people from that country because I came here a long time ago, but es provete, no arquete, meaning you can test but don't indulge, because right now all our taxes are going to people that are not even legal, okay? Because my dad thank you. We used to be in Porterville, and there was a guy or a lady with 6, 7 kids. Why? Because welfare would pay for everything, and then they would give them food, and they would give them medical and all that until that kid was 18. So when Obama was here, then everybody had 6 or 7 kids, you know. So it was really bad. So what I'm trying to say, our Constitution, there's too many lawyers that have found loopholes for the wrong rights. And people, we're not going to be under by terrorists. We're going to be under because our backbone of our Constitution is going to crumble. We all have to work for something and have respect and more respect, because people here don't know what respect is. So thank you so much.
Shame. Sunshine's going to be famous.
Let's use some tolerance here. All right. Assemblymember Weber.
Thank you and good evening. Mayor and members of the council, I'm Assemblymember Shirley Weber, representing the 79th Assembly District. Half of National City is in my district, and so I take great pride in being here today to represent the people of National City, the people of California. I'm here today because of my office here receiving a number of calls and us looking at and researching the issue of the death of Earl McNeil. We are greatly concerned about that, and I assume you are too, in terms of, as I've talked to several of you as members, this is an item that really is of great concern, and it should be a great concern. Some of you may know that I've authored a number of pieces of legislation dealing with the issue of police use of force. In fact, AB 931, which is a new bill that's out, will talk about the use of lethal force and when it should be used and when it should not be used. And I want to emphasize the fact that lethal force is not always the use of firearms. It is any force that can cause bodily injury or serious harm or death. And so we encourage you to really carefully examine your policies concerning that, to make sure that we have some transparency and accountability for what took place. This is a small city, but but basically the light is on this small city because of its policies and whether or not those policies have been actually implemented and with a respect for life that's there. So I want to encourage you to do that. I also want to encourage you to, in terms of your transparency, not only to hopefully engage in a thorough but a quick process so that we can get to the point of what took place and begin to remedy the issue that's there, because no one should ever lose their life. From the kinds of circumstances that we saw. And it's unfortunate, and we're not at this point placing blame, but we need to have an answer as to what is taking place. I want to encourage you also to activate your community, your citizen review board. My staff has looked very carefully at to try to find information concerning minutes, concerning rules on the board, those kinds of things, and you don't seem to have an active citizen review board. Right. It has not been active this entire year. I want to encourage you to do that because that is one of the ways in which the community can feel it has input and have some sense of transparency. I know that you've been trying to appoint members, and I hope that you do it in an expeditious manner so that they can participate in this very important process, so the community doesn't feel left out without adequate representation, not just from your level as a council person, but also from the community level. I understand there are names to be considered for the Citizen Review Board. You need to do that as quickly as possible, if not tonight, to make sure that that board has its membership, is empowered, can have meetings, and that the members of this community can go there and share the information that's important. So I just want to be here tonight to let you know that at the state level, we're looking at this carefully. My staff is involved in looking at it. Although I'm not in town, I have a staff here that works diligently to look for those things. And I've asked them a number of questions, and many of those questions have not been answered because we don't have the information. And so in order to be transparent, you have to be able to provide people with information. I know it takes time to do a thorough investigation, and that's extremely important. But it is important that all of the parts of this government are in place and functioning in order to make sure that the community has confidence in the national city's leadership. So I want to thank you for your time. My staff is available. I am available to basically deal with the issues that they come forward to you. If you need us to do some things, we will do that. But I want to encourage you to do your part in terms of the structure of National City and making sure that the community has the necessary input and support that it needs. Thank you so very much.
Good afternoon, Mr. Mayor and members of the City Council. My name is Ashley Phillips. On May 26th, Earl McNeil was detained by law enforcement and subsequently died after life support had to be turned off. On June 19th, Tasha Williamson appeared before this council to make a statement about the circumstances surrounding Mr. McNeil's death and the treatment of his family during a meeting with Chief Rodriguez on June 18th, the previous day. She went over her allotted time here and I'm wondering, was she treated like every other citizen who goes over their allotted time? Why were her shoes why was she arrested? Why were her shoes taken from her before she got into the squad car? Why was she asked to walk into a hospital building without adequate foot covering? Was it an intention to make her look unkempt, destitute, or dare I say crazy? Is there a written policy that allows for the arrest of citizens who go over their time before the city council? Would I have been handcuffed had I gone over my time? No. Would I have been handcuffed so tightly that my circulation was cut off and I had to be hospitalized? Would I have been handcuffed to my hospital gurney? Would I have been treated this way? Should I be in fear of my arrest? Should I go over my time this afternoon? Today, my name is Tasha Williamson.
Yes.
To be followed by Bertie Cortez.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor and City Council. I am Dr. Andre Branch, the president of the San Diego branch NAACP. National City is one of our constituent cities in our jurisdiction, and so we advocate for the civil rights of people here in National City, as well as 18 other cities in our jurisdiction. Our mission is to advocate for civil rights, and we've been doing that in this region since 1919. Consistent with our mission, we are demanding the full and immediate release of any and all videotapes or other information about events that transpired while your officers were busy respecting the rights and dignity of Mr. Earl McNeil. How many times have we seen African Americans in need of police assistance murdered by the very officers sworn to protect them? How long before police officers are held accountable? How long before they're held accountable for their violent and indefensible behavior toward African Americans? Time and time again, we are told that if only the black man had complied, all would be well. Clearly, all is not well. Ask Philando Castillo.
Yes.
Ask Stephon Clark.
Yes.
Ask Terrence Crutcher.
Yes.
We are well aware of the police officers' Bill of Rights that vouchsafes so much protection to the killers of so many black men. The law is immoral and reprehensible. We have a Bill of Rights in our Constitution, and no special interest group, even police officers, need their own special Bill of Rights. Furthermore, nothing amounting to an invitation to consequence-free murder deserves to be called a Bill of Rights.
That's right.
We urge Chief Rodriguez and the National City Council, as powerful and resourceful men and women, to find a way to get at all videotapes and other information into the hands of the McNeil family. Should this information, however unlikely that seems at the moment, exonerate your officers, you will have restored the confidence of those whom you purport to serve.
Please summarize.
On the other hand, if this is just one more in a long line of unjustified deaths at the hands of peace officers, we demand consequences.
Yes.
We will demand official sanctions from your department for the officers involved. We will demand de-escalation training for your entire force. And we will demand demilitarization of your force. We demand that officers be held accountable in proportion to the vast power that they wield. Furthermore, we make no mistake, we will demand that Summer Stefan, who claims such prowess as a prosecutor, spare no efforts to bring those responsible on the scene and in the chain of command to trial and conviction.
Okay, Dr. Ranch, your time is up. Thank you.
Peace is at stake.
Thank you.
Thank you.
To be followed by Rick Ramhall. Stephen Dorner? Yeah. We have a Stephen Dorner? If we do not?
He's in the back. He's out.
Yeah, see, it's hard for them to hear when you guys make noise after each one, so.
It's okay.
Well, no, it's not, because we've got people that are waiting for their items to come in.
Okay.
In a bigger room.
Release the video.
Speaker out here needs to be louder.
Yeah.
It's quiet, we can barely hear.
Turn it up.
Turn it up.
Accommodate
your
citizens.
Okay, thank you.
They can hear.
Okay, I'm a, Bertie, Gutierrez, come here. We'll see if, we'll call Steve the Dorner later.
I was here in the last meeting that we had. Today I too am Tasha Williamson. Today I too am Earl McNeil's family. And I'm just wondering, how long is this going to go on? How long are we going to still have to be coming over here and asking for answers for this family that cannot have any rest because they don't have any answers? How long till the community gets transparency, accountability? I want answers for that. We all want answers for that. That's why we're here. As a human rights activist that works with victims of Border Patrol brutality, for 10 years now, since the death of several of the members of our community here, not only undocumented, but citizens as well, I still have communication with them on a daily basis, and I'm wondering, are they going to be, are these families that are waiting for answers, are they going to be made to wait as the same as the victims that also have had been murdered by law enforcement brutality? Is that what's going to happen here? Because you know what, it's not only the immediate family that suffers, but it's the whole community that's suffering right now. As a mother, I worry that my children, when they go to the store, that they're going to run into officers that get away every single day with murder. Okay, I'm sick and tired of living this way. This is not a way for our community to live. No community should be living in fear. You know, and we're tired of this type of militarization in our communities, and it needs to stop. Okay, we're sick and tired of coming to these places or protesting in the streets and in the borders in our communities. Not only do the elders suffer, but every single member of the family, they're taking therapy right now because of the trauma that they've suffered and that they've never received any answers to this day. It needs to stop. We need answers. We need answers. You represent the community, okay? Not the other way around. We're sick and tired of waiting.
Please summarize.
We pay the bills.
Do your job.
Do your job. Summarize.
Yes, you're
Do your job. Do your job.
Do your job.
Do your job.
Justice for Earl McNeil and his family.
Grand Hall, and I'm going to ask you to lower your signs so the people are not blocked behind you.
They're good.
Well, no, you're not funny.
They're good.
You don't run the show.
No peace.
No justice! No peace! No racist! Police! No justice! No peace! Earl McNeil, say his name! Earl McNeil!
Okay, I'm going to ask you to please get back in order, otherwise we're going to recess. Okay,
Mayor and City Council members, my name is Rick Bramhall and I live in the city of San Diego. It is not necessary to live in the National City to care about Earl McNeil.
That's right.
It is not necessary to
That's
be
right.
black. Since the city and
the
your
sign they
police
wanted me to
department
lower.
have not said that a psychiatric emergency response team was called in for this case, the only logical conclusion is that one was not called. National City has a contract with the county to provide for this service and yet did not use it. This oversight turned out to be lethal. There is no escaping the fact your police department, on this one issue alone, contributed to the death of Earl McNeil. Withholding video and refusing to release a police report cannot hide this fact. The longer the city and its police department stall on this issue, the greater the stain on the city and its police department. You might as well come clean and admit your fault. Blame only drags your reputation down further. Thank you for your time.
To be followed by Marie Little. We have Marcus Boyd. be followed by Brittany McNeil, be followed by Marie Little.
Good evening, Council, Mr. Mayor, City staff. Earl McNeil, as you've heard, has been deceased now for some time, and he was deceased after being in the custody of National City Police Department. If Mr. Earl McNeil was blonde-haired and blue-eyed, if Mr. Earl McNeil possibly was a resident even, but he was a black visitor, and for some reason, there doesn't seem to be an urge to provide transparency to either the family or the public with regard to this matter. Now, I understand investigations take time, but let me give you a little bit of what we do know. We do know from the chief that no officers have been placed on leave, so therefore there is no suspicion at all at the higher end that there was any wrongful doing. Can we see that evidence, please? If he were white, if he were blonde-haired and blue-eyed, could you wake up tomorrow on 4th of July and say he would have been respected? Because he's not being respected. I know a lot of people hate the phrase Black Lives Matter. They treat it like it's some sort of a terrorism. But let's just break down the words and the reason for the words. The words exist because of situations such as this. If Mr. Earl McNeil was Caucasian, if he was European, if he was the lady that got shot by the cop in wherever city that was, that information would have been released within days. But we have nothing, and it's going into months. Prove the National City Police Department didn't do anything wrong. Because you did.
That's right, that's right.
Be followed by Marie Little, be followed by Therese McNeil-Heimer.
So under the Lanterman-Peters-Shirt Act, or the LPS Act, one of 3 of the following criteria are causes for authorities to take a person to a psychiatric facility for a 72-hour evaluation. 1, a person is a danger to themselves. 2, a person is a danger to others. And 3, a person is gravely disabled. One thing that has been consistent in what's been otherwise inconsistent reports is that Earl McNeil, I'll say his name one more time, Earl McNeil showed 2 out of 3 of those on that list there. So instead of arresting him for supposed controlled substance, he should have been taken to a psychiatric facility where the appropriate people with the appropriate training could have helped him, and Earl McNeil could be alive today.
Yes, come on, Brittany.
Why was that not a priority?
Why?
Just as it should have been a priority for Paul Silva. I'll say his name again. Paul Silva, a schizophrenic man who died in police custody in February. Let me know if any of these symptoms or any of these issues sound familiar. He was in police custody. He died due to excessive force. He had brain damage. He went to cardiac arrest. He had a collapsed lung from excessive force. He wasn't taken into UCSD, until 36 hours after being in police custody by the deputies. He specifically showed signs of mental illness. His mother called police to give him help to take him in. God is spelled G-O-D, not C-O-P.
Oh.
People who show signs of mental illness should not be sentenced to death.
That's right.
Our officers need to be trained appropriately, and everyone who has a part in Earl McNeil's death, they gotta go.
That's right.
Next we had Therese McNeil-Heimer, followed by Sherry McNeil, Be followed by Arnie. Arnie or Ann? Annie. I can't tell which one it is. Is it Ann? Okay.
They call my name after her.
Please go ahead.
Good evening. My name is Teresa. I live in San Diego. What is happening in National City is being watched around the county. Some of us are able to be here tonight. Many were not able to be here, but we are all paying attention. We are watching how Earl McNeil came to the police department for help and ended up dead. It has been 38 days since Mr. McNeil walked into the police department here in National City, and there are still so many unanswered questions. Here are just a few. How was McNeil treated by the police in the early stages of their encounter with him? The police department's June 13th press release said McNeil became combative. What specifically happened? Was he placed in a rap simply because he spit, as indicated in the June 7th press release? What training do National City police officers receive in handling those with mental illness?
Right.
Why wasn't the psychiatric emergency response team called in to help? Are precautions taken to protect those put in the rap so that injuries and deaths do not occur, especially in situations similar to those that have led to deaths at other police departments? How was McNeil protected when he was being transported? Was he strapped in with a seatbelt? If he wasn't adequately strapped in, he would have been defenseless in the rap to avoid a fall. When did the police realize McNeil had stopped breathing or otherwise needed medical help? How long after that did it take them to call paramedics? Why has the press been told there was no trauma on McNeil's body at the autopsy when there are pictures of McNeil in the hospital that show clear trauma?
Right.
When does the police department expect to conclude its investigation? How much more than 5 weeks do we need? The National City Police Department, at this point, it's not adequate for them to just be investigating themselves.
Right.
It's been 38 days with no answers. Please understand that the failure to provide information, this opaque behind the curtain approach to death while in custody, causes people to start to fill in the void of the information and imagine the worst. If there's nothing to hide, provide the information.
Yes, that's right.
At this point, an independent investigation appears to be needed. The federal, the state government, our local DA needs to step in and investigate and start to provide information to the community and especially to McNeil's family. Because the bottom line is he came to the police for help and he ended up dead.
Marie Little, did I skip you?
You did.
Okay, sorry. Let you come next. And then we have Sherry with you next.
Good afternoon. I don't know if what we say here today is going to touch maybe one or two of you. I don't know. Maybe. I don't really believe so. I don't really want to address to you, but I want to address to you. This is the face of your boss.
Please speak into the microphone.
This is the face of your boss.
Shame.
In front of the family of Earl McNeil.
Shame.
I wanted to be the one that take that smirk away.
Shame.
I'm telling you right now.
Shame.
So if I understand correctly, Mr. McNeil somehow end up in your office, National City Police Department. You take him into custody. You try to book him at Central Jail. They refuse to take him because he needs medical assistance. And then what do, guys? You dump him at the UCSD at the hospital? He's no longer in custody? Do you think we are stupid? Do you really think that the community are stupid? Do you think that we haven't been through this so many times? My name is Marie, aka Tasha Wilson. I belong to the Olongo village. Mr. Olongo was killed in September 2016 by El Cajon PD. Officer Dick Gonzalez. We know the drill.
Yeah, we know it.
You are the third. You killed a man. You took a man away from his family. Not just that. I'm going to reveal something to you today. Open your ear real big. Mr. McNeil was supposed to be a witness on a case where a man was wrongfully convicted and has been doing 12 years so far on a life sentence on a double homicide. His name is James Carter. Mr. McNeil was supposed to testify on his behalf.
He cannot testify now anymore because you killed him. So we are not going to end up. Be prepared. We're going to shut this city down like we
Shut it down.
Do your job.
Do your job.
We want conviction.
That's
and
right.
we don't care if Sarah Stefan is in bed with the police department.
That's right.
We
That's right.
will let them accountable.
Right.
I'm sorry, you are?
My name is Sharon.
Okay.
I'm here tonight to ask, why is it so difficult to get the badge number and names of an officer or officers who are involved in police cases? The National City Police Department investigates those arrested. The National City Police officers are the servants of the citizens of National City. We the people should be able to ask who was involved in cases and be able to investigate the backgrounds of them. Why is this so difficult? That's just my question. Also, on the National City PD webpage, under the description of their patch on their arm, it says, Minerva, the goddess of wisdom, gazes over the miner that works near the Sacrament River. There is no Sacrament River. Please correct to say Sacramento River. Minerva is the goddess of wisdom and strategic warfare. Wow. Isn't that interesting? The police department couldn't get a description of their own patch correct. How can we trust that they can investigate crimes and get it correct?
Come on.
Thank you.
Thank you.
To be followed by Wendy McNeil, to be followed by, I hope I don't mess this up, Buki, B-U-K-I, McNeil.
I just need somebody to switch off if I get to say but no.
We have Wendy. Wendy.
Yeah. As we know, Earl McNeil walked into the National City Police Department seeking help. That's a reasonable thing for a citizen or a non-citizen of the city to expect from a police department, to be able to seek help from those hired to serve. But we still do not know what actually happened or was said because no video or audio have been released. In the recent cases regarding Stephon Clark in Sacramento and Antoine Rose in Pittsburgh, the release of the videos were instrumental in justice being served to their families. Although Stephon and Antoine died at the hands of guns, are their deaths more important for that reason? I think it is reasonable to expect that any police violence, no matter how the death happens, is in the same continuum as gun violence. It is unreasonable that Earl's family have had to wait this long and still have no justice. It is unreasonable that all of us have had to flood this room for the second time, taking time away from our own family members to plead for justice in this case. It is not unreasonable to ask for the tapes of Earl's death to be released to help bring closure, peace, and accountability to Earl's family and the community. Please, release the tapes. Justice for Earl.
Now! Woo!
Is it Buki? I'm not too sure pronounce on that one. And then Darwin McNeil after that.
Mr. Mayor, City Council members, my name is Buki Domingos, civil rights activist with Activist San Diego and the Racial Justice Coalition of San Diego. We are predominantly known for fighting for people like Earl McNeil who do not have a voice in the face of situations like these. According to a KPBS article that was released on the 14th of June, it says that Mr. McNeil was suspected of being under the influence, so during arrest, police said he was combative and officers put him in a device, which is called a wrap. Now, in the same articles, the same officers that put Mr. McNeil in the wrap also claim that Mr. McNeil was intentionally hurting himself. But in the article, they did not opt out to say that the device restrains the legs, the hands, and the feet. So how can a restrained man harm himself? I'm a registered nurse. I practiced in Germany for over a decade before I came to the US, and I work here in healthcare as well. How can a restrained man sustain injuries on his forehead, a puncture-looking wound on one of his wrists, and then the police insist? And another thing that made me also notice that he was not treated with dignity and respect, the basic wristband that you get when you're in a hospital. It has your first and last name, your date of birth, allergies, and another wristband if you're at fall risk. Mr. McNeil's wristbands were just with numbers and codes that nobody could understand. Now, if the police department insists that Mr. McNeil was having a mental health care breakdown, why is it that he was not sent to the proper channels? That is what they're paid to do. That's what the tax dollars do for citizens. Yes. And that is why every citizen, regardless of skin color and socioeconomic status, needs and has to be treated with dignity. This is the United States of America, the land of the free, and yet the land where people of color in the world are the most oppressed. Justice for Earl McNeil. I say today with conviction, any information that has been acquired in this case needs to be released to the family members. They deserve a right to know. They deserve a right to bury their son knowing what really happened to him. Earl McNeil could be your son, could be your nephew, and he could be your very own. Justice for Earl McNeil.
Next we have Darwin, to be followed by Anita, to be followed by Yusef.
And that is, and I don't know how many of you are even aware of this, just trying to do basic research on your Community and Police Relations Commission, CPRC. And if you go into the webpage and you look, it is wonderful. You do have the meeting scheduled. This is great. May 12th, the last meeting. Small problem with it, though, is that it's for 2011. So 2011 is what you have online in terms of the last meeting. The other thing, too, is really striking, and the other thing I tried to do was to call the city to find out about this. Do you review cases? Do you recommend policy for the police? I was literally referred to every agency, every place in the city. It was almost like a game of who's on first. I was referred to HR. I called the police, and they referred me to the city manager. City manager did not know where to go. So it's clear that, unlike if we get into other cities, we call to find out civilian oversight of police, where not just you have paid staff, but people know what that agency is and what they're responsible for. And I'm concerned then, because if you want the community to trust the investigation here, if you first go in and look and see to the committee and they last met in 2011, how is the community going to trust your results? Who's actually investigating this case? Right. Where's the transparency? Yes. Where's the actual oversight? The last thing I wanted to share real quickly is that we're mandated for CRB to do ride-alongs. If you go ride along with the police, you can actually see how they work and operate. I've done it in Southeast, and I've seen them negotiate with people that they have that are in custody. You don't have to use lethal force for people in custody. I've seen it where someone sat down, they did not want to go, actually did not want to go to Paradise Hospital. I saw police officers spend an hour negotiating with her when they had the option of dragging her out. They had options. And this is the last part. It's possible for police to do their job well. It's also possible to do it poorly. It actually helps for the officers that are not good officers to be removed, to be fired. There's a process for that, and it starts with civilian oversight.
Thank you very much. To be followed by Art.
Where I speak right here.
Yes.
My name is Anita Chandler. I just want to say that the life of Earl McNeil matters. His family and friends lost a precious loved one in a violent manner at the hands of the police. Yep. The total lack of transparency after 30 days or more is cruel, it's torturous, it's like rubbing salt in an open wound. And I ask every single one of you here, if that were your loved one, how would you feel? What would you want to have happen? And silence is complicity.
Yeah.
Silence is violence. We come to you because we trust in your oversight. We trust that you have a mandate to treat all people fairly and justly. And I just want to remind every single person in this room, especially those that have power over others, we are responsible in this life for both our actions and our lack of actions. And when we leave this life, we face God. You may feel powerful right now. You may feel like I can do what I want. I can treat people with injustice. You're going to face God. And so I also want to say that what we ignore, we empower. When we ignore brutality and police killings, we actually imperil everyone's life. And here's what I just want to end by saying. Follow the golden rule. Treat other people the way that you want to be treated, the way that you want your loved ones to be treated. Do not give false testimony. Do not pervert justice. Do not deny justice. Do not twist the words of the innocent. You have a moral duty before us and before God to do the right thing.
Do the right thing.
Defend the cause of the oppressed. Do not conspire against the innocent. Have the fear of God in you, because we're all leading this life. None of us are staying forever. Have the fear of God. Consider carefully what you do in this life. Stop murdering the defenseless. Stop protecting the guilty. Silence is complicity. Justice for Earl McNeil.
Yep.
Next we have Yusef to be followed by Art, to be followed by Mika.
Good evening. My name is Yusef McNeil. I'm here representing the Council on American Islamic Relations San Diego office and the Racial Justice Coalition. I want to talk about the Mental Health Advisory Board. Serious analysis needs to come from the Mental Health Advisory Board when it comes to law enforcement and people in mental health, especially when those people are people of color and the homeless. We see oftentimes that this results in death. In the case of Earl McNeil, red flags should have went up everywhere. In the city council, in every community, red flags should have went up.
Right.
It was a self-referral that ended in death. We believe that in this case, if there was diversity in the Mental Health Advisory Board, this probably wouldn't happen. There would be a faster result on looking into the situation between people of color and law enforcement. But there is no diversity on this council. Many people don't even know we have a Mental Health Advisory Board. A lot of people never even heard of it. We believe that in this case, that lack of diversity was critical. And if this ethnic diversity was present, we would have a different case probably when it comes to Earl McNeil, when it comes to Alfred Alongo, when it comes to Mr. Silva. All of these people are people of color. PERT teams should be well funded, not just the 0.7% that you're going to allocate from your excess budget. We need more funding for PERT teams, as we see is costing the lives of loved ones. Right. With that being said, you as the city council should have had your eyes raised. Mr. Mayor, your eyes should have been raised. These are your citizens. Yeah. So we ask and we demand that you come down from off high. Yeah. Come down and do something. Come down and do something for your people. Amen.
To be followed by Mika, to be followed by Anastasia. Anastasia.
I'm Mark Fusco. I was here last time, and I was the one who filmed Chief Rodriguez smiling during Tasha's speech. I was also denied access to film Tasha's treatment by NCPD, and so once we were unable to see what happened next, is when both Tasha and another man, Raphael, were injured by NCPD officers. Chief Rodriguez told reporters that Tasha and the people filming were provocateurs waiting to catch cops slip up. But really, those who film police boil themselves down to about 3 words: accountability, de-escalation, and prevention. That said, the arrest of Tasha last time was handled terribly.
Terrible.
By NCPD. People were hurt, and it doesn't seem like anyone cares. And I don't even know why these officers are so nervous about talking to us or letting us film, because if they really had nothing to hide, they would have let us.
Guilty. Right. Guilty.
Please see that your officers and your corporals
Right.
keep their hands off of people who are legally cop watching. I should also strongly emphasize that sometimes activists have to get loud, because sometimes you guys seem to be sleeping, and we have to wake you up.
Wake up! Woo! Wake up!
We gotta do something, okay? And I'm a historian, and I really follow Frank Kimball, who founded National City. He would be ashamed, I think, because when the first person to die in National City died, he felt so bad about it that the next day, him and his brothers built a cemetery to bury her in.
Yeah.
And today, we can't even get any money to bury Earl from National City.
Yeah. Shame!
Next we have Mika, to be followed by Anastasia, to be followed by Tasha.
So, first of all, what happened to Earl McNeil is a reflection of leadership. You are racist, you are corrupt, you are a womanizer. The way you have treated the women on this board is unacceptable. So, with that being said, I'm not going to repeat everything that everybody said. What I will say is this: if there is no justice, there will be no peace. If I have to show up here every single day and shut you down every single day, I'll be here. I can do both. And so, you know what? I'm tired of people not being held accountable. I'm tired of the police forces not being held accountable and hiding behind the protection of the Bill of Rights. I'm tired of them hiding behind the protection of your racist and corrupt ass. I'm tired of it. So we will be here and we will shut you down. So if you don't give us justice, we won't give you peace.
Yes, that's right.
Anastasia, and then Tasha. After that, then Dwayne.
I'm Anastasia, and I'm here to speak about the simple yet overlooked fact that Earl McNeil's life mattered. And it still matters. Earl McNeil did not exist in a vacuum. He was a stepfather of 3. He was a cousin. He was a beloved community member, and he was a human being. Earl McNeil was a human being. It's the purported job of law enforcement to protect and serve. Tragically, Mr. McNeil's life can no longer be protected, but his family and his community can and must be served. Earl McNeil's life mattered. Earl McNeil's life still matters. The circumstances of Earl McNeil's death matter. Because Earl McNeil was a stepfather, because he was a cousin, because he brought joy and laughs to his community, and because he was a human being, Earl McNeil's life mattered. Earl McNeil's life still matters and must be honored. Earl McNeil's life matters. Amen.
Be followed by Patricia.
Take your time, Todd.
You got my 2 minutes, Ash. There we go. Don't stop there.
My name is Tasha Williamson. I'm Earl McNeil. The treatment that I received from NCPD helped me to experience some of what Earl McNeil experienced. His hand was swollen when I went to his hospital bed. And when they took me into the hospital, my hand was swollen. I could barely move my shoulder And as the officers stood around in the hallways and in my room videotaping, they laughed. As they were moving my shoulder and I was crying, they laughed. They would come in and ask me questions. Unbeknown to me, my attorney was outside, asking to see me, as they were taking pictures of me and trying to ask me questions. As I was leaving this same hall and going down the stairs with officers, Rafael Batista was at the steps, and they began to kick and hit and strike him in his back as he was seated. And I was shocked and I screamed. And those are the screams that you heard, because I watched and witnessed as their video cams watched and witnessed them kick a man from behind who was sitting down doing nothing. This is NCPD. And I'm asking not only that you guys launch an investigation, an outside investigation, that you also, I also implore that the FBI and the U.S. Department of Justice take over NCPD's investigation, that my civil rights was violated. Never have I seen anyone in this city council be arrested, not even when your city council member was threatened with harm. But I was arrested and I was treated like a criminal. My shoes were removed before I even stepped into their police car. I was treated like a criminal.
Please summarize.
Don't stop her. Take your time. Don't stop her.
Don't summarize, just listen.
Mr. Mayor, we're going to shut your city down.
Yes,
yes, we will.
Will begin to look like Ferguson, because we have been patient for 40 days and for 40 nights. And we have been still. And my voice is not criminal, but I was treated like that. I was humiliated, taking my shoes off with my feet black. As your city attorney has full control over the release of the videotape.
Right.
As your city manager has full control over the NCPD.
Don't stop her. Keep talking.
And I get that. Earl McNeil's time is up too. And so we want to know who's Earl McNeil, and we want to know when you're going to fire Chief Rodriguez.
And you.
Chief Rodriguez to resign. I'm not sure what your name is, but I want people to know that you sat in that meeting and was respectful to that family, but your chief wasn't. You were silent to that. And so was your assistant city attorney as she watched as he disrespected that family. And I understand that as well. But I want you to understand, we are going to shut the next city council meeting down. You will not conduct business until you release the video.
The one on that side. There you go.
Use whatever you want.
I'm not going to speak my words. Okay. I'm going to speak the words of God. And it's hard for me to see because I wear glasses. I'll read over those. Behold, the Lord's hand is not so short that he cannot save, nor is his ear so dull that he cannot hear. But your iniquities have made a separation between you and your God. And your sins have hidden his face from you so that he does not hear. For your hands are defiled with blood, and your fingers with iniquity. Your lips have spoken falsehood. Your tongue mutters wickedness. No one sues righteously, and no one pleads honestly. They trust in confusion and speak lies. They conceive mischief and bring iniquity. I'll read further down. Therefore, justice is far from us, and righteousness does not overtake us. For we hope for light, but behold darkness. For brightness, but we walk in gloom. Justice is turned back, and righteousness stands far away. For truth has stumbled in the street, and uprightness cannot enter. Yes, truth is lacking, and he who turns aside from evil makes himself a prey. Now the Lord saw, and it was displeasing in his sight that there was no justice. Oh my God.
Go ahead, preach.
You know, the thing is, I know you guys believe, well, honestly, I know you believe, but there's a lot of people that don't believe that Black Lives Matter. But you have shown that blue lives matter.
Yes.
All right, you have shown that blue lives matter. Now, if you truly believe that, I want to tell you, I was walking to work this morning and I saw this truck. And it was driving by and there was a flag, and it was a Blue Lives Matter flag. And I was thinking, if you guys and others don't do what they're supposed to do, there's stars on that flag, I'm just telling you, those stars are going to start falling. You understand what I'm saying? I don't want that. I'll see that flag and I'll say, that's fine, but I want those stars to stay up there. But those stars are going to start falling. If you guys don't do what you're supposed to do, if the people don't trust you and trust the law.
Please summarize.
My summary is going to be this. You guys may not fear us. You may not fear us.
You should. You should.
But you need to fear God.
Yes. Amen.
Okay. And you need to do his will.
Thank you very much. We have Patricia, to be followed by Geraldine, to be followed by Raphael. Do we have Patricia Amador? To be followed by Geraldine, to be followed by Raphael.
Good evening. I'm Patricia Amador, and I am coming to represent a group from North County. I am a delegate to Latino Dems for the Democratic Club. And we are very concerned over what is happening here in National City and with your safety officers in the police department. I would like to just say that we are asking that you, especially Mr. Morrison as a mayor, lead your group to authorize the release of all documentation and evidence related to Mr. McNeil's confinement and his
fire departments here.
At the hands they were given from. We ask for you to bring answers to this family so that Rudy can come to an end and that we move forward with grace, all of us together, and keep our communities together. We have a lot more to fight in this world. A lot of grief, and a lot of children, and a lot of our brothers and sisters being harmed. I ask you to please do your job and bring all remedies possible to Mr. McNeil's family. Thank you very much.
To be followed by Raphael, to be followed by, last name looks like Mendoza. I'm not too sure. The first one starts with C. I'm not too sure.
Good evening, my name is Earl McNeil, and I am the lead organizer at the ACLU of San Diego and Imperial Counties. The ACLU is a member of the Coalition for Police Accountability and Transparency, also known as CPAT, and I'm here tonight on behalf of the coalition to offer comments about two recent incidents involving the National City Police Department. The family and community deserve answers about what led to Earl McNeil's death. It does appear that Mr. McNeil, who lived with bipolar disorder, was in a state that should have signaled to officers that what he needed was medical and or mental health intervention and not detention in jail. We call on the NCPD, the district attorney, and the sheriff's department to engage in real transparency and build community trust by releasing all information, video, and body cam footage regarding this incident. The results of the autopsy should also be released. Yeah. This information will help answer critical questions surrounding the circumstances of Earl McNeil's injuries. The police culture of compliance can be fatal to people who, because of mental illness or intellectual disability, do not immediately understand and comply with police orders. We also support calls from the community to release all video and audio of the arrest of Tasha Williamson and for all of the charges to be dropped.
Right.
Yes.
Yes.
Right. CPAC is paying close attention to how the leadership of National City responds to these cases and calls for accountability and answers from all law enforcement agencies involved with these incidents. We need justice for Earl McNeil and Tasha Williamson.
That's right.
Followed by
Mendoza.
Read it, but it looks like Mendoza for the last name. It starts with C on first.
Yes, Mendoza.
Okay.
Hey, I'm here again. Last time I was here at this building, I was unfortunately hit by the police with my back towards them. This is in reaction to the arrest or the detainment of Tasha Williamson. This is a reaction from the death of Earl McNeil. These behaviors are unacceptable. We need accountability now.
Now.
I'm disappointed in that the chief wasn't able to present his smirking face today. Because he's not hearing what the community has to say. But we depend on you to make him hear what we're trying to say. And what we're trying to say is that we need repercussions. We're done with the impunity.
Yep.
I'm an organizer with San Diego 10 United. I'm here with United Against Police Terror. And what we've seen in other cities, we've supported them. And here in National City, we expect support in the streets. Because if you're not going to make a decision, we're going to force decisions on you.
Yep.
We want repercussions, not impunity. We need justice for Earl McNeil. You can't detain somebody for speaking out against these injustices.
Right.
You can't go beat somebody down the stairs that's sitting down just so that I'm not in the way of Tasha, just so that I'm not in the way of the police. And instead of telling me to stand up or move, they kick me, they punch me with my back to them.
Coward.
Exactly.
Criminal.
I mean, if the police is not guilty of anything, if they're completely innocent, why are they treating everything like if they're trying to cover things up?
Right. That's right.
You know, why are they reacting in this manner? Why can't they just release the videos like we're requesting, like they did in Sacramento shortly after the Sleeper incident, recently, same week? Get with it. If there's no accountability from a community review board, that's your job now.
Yes, exactly.
We want results. We want solutions. We want repercussions, not impunity. Thank you.
Justify your salary.
Is it Mendoza? Okay.
I'm just going to shift this because I want to be able to see the audience. Tonight I am also Tasha Williamson, as I am Earl McNeil, as I am Lamontes Jones, who was killed by San Diego police in 2015, and the officers who killed him did not even have their body-worn cameras on. I am Anthony Ashford, a black male who was killed by Oceanside Harbor police, where the video footage from the hotel room and the police was never released. I filmed cops. As Elaine Brown from the Black Panthers pointed out, they're pigs. Call them what they are. They are pigs. The chief of the National City Police Department is a pig for his behavior. But he's transparent in what police departments are really about. We wouldn't even be here demanding video camera footage for Tasha Williams' arrest had I been respected as my constitutional right to film public servants as I was blocked. They obstructed my right to film. They obstructed my right to protect her. This is what I do in the community because I don't trust police at all. I don't talk to police. There's nothing to say. I show up at Mid-City Station when somebody goes into, and there's been raps where people have gone to the Mid-City Station. There have been 12 officers at a time. They would put a body wrap on somebody for some psychiatric emergency. I go to film, they try to obstruct us there.
we get retaliated against because we're actually doing the transparency work for the police.
And for you.
We're doing it for city council members. We're doing it for the community. So this is not just Earl McNeil. This is not just Tasha Williamson. This is people that are protectors of their community, that stand up, that say fuck the system, say fuck the police, and we are protecting people from these tyrant pigs who decide to sit in a city council meeting and smile as somebody was explaining how a person died.
Can you please summarize?
I don't know, what does everybody have to say? Justice for Earl McNeil! Fuck the police! Fuck the police! We're interrupting, I'm not handcuffed. What does that say? What does that say?
Okay, please stop.
You're not black! You're interrupting while black, you're getting handcuffed.
All right.
If you're not black, you know black. You know what it is. You know what it is.
And followed by Steve Dorner. Christina, followed by Steve Dorner, to be followed by, it looks like Suzanne.
Hello, my name is Christina Griffin, and I'm one of the founding members of San Diego's Black Lives Matter chapter. BLMSD basically, right? We demand for the liberation of all black people, especially including our queer and trans folks, right? And we also lift up that the only way that black folks are going to be free and be able to live our best lives and best selves in National City, in El Cajon, in San Diego, in North County, La Mesa, Southeast San Isidro, Imperial Beach, even La Frontera, will be by us determining our own futures and us being in leadership roles to determine those things. We stand with the family of Earl McNeil, and we stand with the community, and we demand the immediate release of all video footage of him while he was in custody. We demand that the U.S. Department of Justice be brought in instead of National City Police Department to investigate what happened to Mr. McNeil. And we demand that the investigation of his murder be something that the city of National City takes seriously, and that Chief Rodriguez is fired for his inappropriate behavior. We also demand that the civil rights investigation be launched for Sister Tasha and Brother Raphael's how they were treated. It was terrible, and we want it now. My mom, she used to say something when I was small. I was raised right down the street from here at a barbershop and salon on National City Boulevard across the street from what used to be Keith's. I remember the National City Police Department had the worst reputation. It would beat up the brothers after they got their hair cut. And it beat up all my mom's clients after they got their hair done. And it was constant abuse. My mom used to tell me, Chris, what does not come out in the wash will come out in the rinse. And we will not stop, and we will continue to show up until there is justice for Brother Earl McNeil. We want to know who hurt him, we want to know who killed him, and we won't stop until we get that justice for him and his family.
That's right.
You want to call his name earlier? Stephen Dorner. Otherwise, we'll go to, looks like Suzanne.
I need a cigarette. Thank you. I'll be super quick.
Greetings, everyone. My name is Dr. Suzanne Forbes-Vierling, and I wanted to first just say rest in power to Earl McNeil.
Yes.
And I want to say, here's the council, here's police officers. You guys are the most visible, most obvious participants in this current situation. But I also want to bring to light mental health and African American people in San Diego County. Black people are treated horribly in San Diego County when it comes to mental health. I believe that the fiscal year started July 1st, is that correct? July 1st to July 30th, and about $2 billion in Health and Human Services funding has come down, and about $2 billion for security and all of that. It's going to cover a lot of salaries. It's going to pay a lot of pensions. And I'm going to tell you that as a professional in the field, as a provider, as a manager, as a director, and at the university level, everyone is afraid of black people. People are afraid of black children, people are afraid of black women, and people are afraid of black men. So you got a brother that ended up in front of you that should have been well taken care of with all the money that comes into San Diego. He should have been well taken care of by mental health. What's mental health filled with? Young, white girls very scared of black people. And they determine, oh my gosh, she feels aggressive. Did you hear what I just said? I'm looking over here. She feels aggressive. And I want to look over here. Do you hear me? He feels aggressive. That little boy is just, he's so nonverbal. And it just grows, and I'm talking, I've been around since the 90s. It grows and grows and grows. And little black boys and little black girls are kicked and pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed forward along the pathway of detention.
Take your time. Take your time.
But Mayor Morrison, I want to ask you if you heard that. You see, you are all well-funded. All of the officers are well-funded. The Department of Probation is well-funded. Health and Human Services is well-funded. And mental health is well-funded. Why did this brother have to come to the police for services?
Yes, why?
Why did it have to get to this level? I'm going to ask you a question I'm going to ask you a question now, and I want to know, are you having these discussions?
Answer. What's the answer?
Thank you. Yeah.
Yes, no, maybe.
This is the time for you to speak.
Okay, and I appreciate that. Thank you very much. I really
What's
feel
the
like
answer?
somebody and that's fine. I don't want to be difficult, but I just need you to understand that African American children, boys, girls, men, and women suffer in San Diego in seeking out services because of the stereotype and belief that we're aggressive and difficult, okay? And that is why Earl McNeil is
very much.
Thank you so much.
Next we have next is Mark Lane, to be followed by don't know. Franklin. Last name is Franklin. Is it
Well, they paid for it. What do we pay them for? Sit down here, look at us, listen. What do we pay them for?
Our law office is representing the family of Earl McNeil and also the family of Raul Rivera, who also had a mental breakdown, was killed by NCPD the same weekend. I was in the meeting with the family and the police chief, and I want to make clear, we didn't call and ask for that meeting. They called us. The chief called us, and he wanted to answer questions for the family. He was rude to the family. He was disrespectful to the family. He smirked while they were sobbing through that meeting. We finally got up and just left. The only answer he could give was none of my officers did anything. That was it. That was the only answer he offered to every question asked. I said, Manny, if your officers didn't do anything, why can't you release the video?
Yes.
There's an investigation. I said, Manny, there was a police shooting 2 days ago in San Francisco. A cop shot a guy in the back running down the sidewalk. They've already released the video. There's an investigation going. He smirked.
Fire him.
Okay? There's an issue. When the police department has 3 different versions of what happened before they have a 4th.
Right.
First version, the family was told by a detective that he had a heart attack. If that was true, why were the paramedics not called to the station? Why was he taken downtown?
Bullshit.
Second version, he was injured while they were trying to restrain him and put a wrap on him. Third version, issued by press release by that police department. He hurt himself in the car banging his head on the window that separates the front to the back. Fourth version now, the detectives were present at the autopsy and there was no trauma to him. Okay, so he hurt himself banging his head, but there was no trauma, although we saw the pictures with the bruises on his head. There's an issue. There's also an issue with de-escalation with this department.
Right.
Take a good look at Corporal Pearson here. This man right here.
Right. That's right.
Look at his face. He wanted to fight last time.
Yeah, look at him. Look
To a
at him.
man who did nothing, didn't impede him in any way, wasn't combative with him in any way. Look at the face of this
Look
police
at that
officer.
face. Big. White supremacy.
Please summarize.
He was angry because Art Fusco had the nerve to document what was going on. He put his hand up in the camera. He touched it. He threatened to arrest him. And then a man who was sitting at the bottom of the stairs trying to stay out of the way was assaulted by the National City Police Department. You guys are the leaders.
Thank you very much.
You guys have said nothing. Say something. Leslie, Angie, you guys release the videos because you know you can, because other departments have immediately. Release the videos, deal with your officers. We're filing a complaint for Art Fusco against this guy right here. Because look at his face.
Thank you very much.
He wanted to fight. Is that the same face that Earl McNeil saw? Is that the same face that Earl McNeil saw?
Yes.
He wanted to fight.
We run the show.
Mr. Franklin, I think it's Augustine, but I can't, I'm not 100% sure.
It's Ezekiel Franklin.
Okay.
I'm Ezekiel Franklin.
Come on.
BFRDW. Blacks for Defense Revolutionary Warrior. I'm not here to come in with Jesus because the Roman police murdered that man.
Go ahead.
Made him a black
Speak the truth.
prophet. I didn't here to come with peace because you pigs been doing it since the lynching of Emmett Till with the sheets. I'm letting you know that it's a war on blacks and we're sick of it. You pigs, you smile. You think it's a game until it start happening to your family members.
Right.
And then we'll see who's laughing last.
That's right.
We don't have to come with no threats. It's been a threat already against black people. But you got little white kids shooting up schools with AR-15s.
Yeah.
But we're the threats.
Yes. Right.
Lynching blacks in schools and on nooses, but we're the threats.
Right.
I'm going to tell you when we're a threat. When this keg explodes. No justice, no peace?
No justice, no peace.
Then it will not be peace. And believe me, my peace is not like Dr. King.
Come on.
I'm about to liberate like Malcolm X. And we're about to let you guys know that enough is enough, and we will shut this down, and it will not be by holding hands and eating donuts with you pigs. I'm letting you guys know that right now. Morrison, you don't care because you a devil behind them clothes. We know what robes and sheets you wear. Pigs, y'all went from sheets to uniforms, and we sick of it. So we here to ride for Trayvon Martin, Michael Brown, Alfred Alongo and Elva Home. Y'all still got that pig on beat. He will be shut down too. You need to step down, Chief. You need the death penalty with the rest of the murderers.
Yes.
Because y'all lynched the black man. That flag over there need to get spit on in this kangaroo-ass court y'all got running here. I didn't come here for peace.
That's right.
I came with the fire and the sword of the Creator to use my voice at this time. We will not hold any more threats, and guess what? I don't care about that time because you're taking our time.
Right.
By lynching us with bullets.
Right. Yes.
So I'm just going to say this one time. Fuck the police.
Yes.
No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace.
Release the video. Find the chief.
Now y'all ready? No justice, no peace. We gonna see how y'all hold hands like Dr. King, or y'all gonna swing like Malcolm X. Black power. Y'all can come in there and speak y'all mind. They ready now.
So I didn't get reelected.
That was fucking amazing, y'all. His speech gave me life. I love that man. Just wanted to make sure that he was safe coming out. So I'm gonna go back in.
And then Cassie has everything.
You know what? A lot of Jersey things. Yeah. It's like, here's where we're at.
Jesse, wasn't that fucking awesome?
And silence is even worse. Silence of those who call ourselves progressive is even worse. We can no longer stand for this type of behavior from people that are supposed to protect and serve everybody. It is very obvious that that is not the case. I also want to take this time to record activities of your National City Police Department. I did go, and Tasha Williamson was my client the evening that she was arrested here. I did go to the hospital and was not allowed to see my client as an attorney by the National City Police Department.
Shame!
They snuck her through the hospital before I was able to see her. We were there for about an hour. And then when I asked police officers for their name, to identify themselves with their names and their badge numbers, they did not do so. They drove off. These are black and white principles of our law that obviously do not and did not apply to black people on that evening, just like they didn't apply to Earl McNeil. And so I wanted to come publicly and put that on the record. Now you know. Now you know. Because I was not even allowed to see Tasha Williamson. She's in a hospital bed with at least 4 of your officers surrounding her, the same officers from the same department that killed Earl McNeil. And I was not allowed to see her.
It is criminal.
I paid to be an attorney, just like everyone else. I have a bar card. She deserves that. She's an American citizen. And I was blocked from seeing her. That is a violation. But we are talking about life and death here, literally. We're glad that she's alive. We are glad that she's alive, but she could have been like Earl McNeil. So I want to take the time to tell all of you that have seats of power. We are to use our seats of power for the people. That is what we are supposed to use them for. And I'm friends with some of you. And I ask you to stand out on this and help us retrieve the video of what happened to Earl McNeil. Thank you. Thank you very much.
That is the last of our public speakers. We will now have a 5-minute recess.
Say his name. Release the
Earl McNeil. Say his name. Earl McNeil. Say his name. Earl McNeil. Say his name. Earl McNeil.
Release the video.
Nothing to say.
City attorney, release the video.
Now! Fire the chief now!
No justice.
No peace!
No justice.
No peace!
No justice.
No peace!
No justice.
No peace!
No justice.
Police!
No crooked.
Police!
No killer police. That's not what we came for.
What? That was a buzzkill. Am I right? Reminding you about the photo.
Oh, yes, yes.
How are you feeling?
We gonna shut National City down. Shut it down.
But yeah.
I
have a chance to do it.
Okay.
NCPD needs to be canceled like Ferguson PD was. You're corrupt.
What you got to say, girl?
NCPD is corrupt. Release the video. Thank you.
Okay. So y'all heard it. Y'all heard it. There were people interrupting the meeting. You know, that man who walked out gave me life. I had a big smile on my face.
So just take the paper back to you. You know I have another meeting.
It's all right.
I'm sorry. Yay, fire department, yay. Yay, first responders who don't kill people, yay. Yay, fire department, yay.
Continue with this part when they come back?
You know what, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Was I interrupting? I don't know, I was ready to... Hey, thank you for coming. Real Okay, so I'm going to be pausing stream. We're probably going to be back. They took a 5-minute recess, but I don't know. There's people that are leaving. So... I'm watching you fools.
Police! No justice! Police! No justice! No peace! No justice! No peace! No racist! Police! Release the video! Help! This man is
Again, it's not right.
Okay, so I'm going to be shutting off stream. We're still at recess, so I'm probably going to start again. I got to use the restroom, but I'm going to check y'all later. Julie, if you can share the stream, I'm going to be online very soon.